Welcome to Meet the Missouri Horse Professional. I'm your host, Jennifer Hurt of JRs Equine Spa Retreat, and I'm interviewing Missouri horse professionals in your area. So come join me in meeting this week's talented Missouri horse professional. Welcome to Meet the Missouri Horse Professional. This week's episode, we have Brad and Becky Phillips from Reining Horses Unlimited. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. So let's talk about your business. How long have you guys been training horses, showing horses?
So I've been training since I was 18 years old. I started out with Randy Cutbirth in Willard, Missouri.
Nice.
And then I moved on to Texas and Oklahoma. And so I've been training a long time, but it's mainly reining horses is where I went and worked at. And I worked for some really awesome people, and it's been great.
Yeah, I saw the picture that was floating around Facebook. You had Casey Deering in there and Sean Faraday.
Florida, yeah.
Florida.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I'm bad with names. So did you get to train under them too?
No, I didn't get to train under them,
Okay.
but I trained under Casey Hinton and Josh Visser and a few of the bigger guys.
Nice.
Dwayne Latimer. Yeah, I got to train under some pretty cool people.
That is awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about showing. What is your major accomplishments? Let's brag right now.
So I've won over $50,000 in reining NRHA money,
Nice.
and I'm an NRHA judge. So
Nice.
I go and judge a little bit, and I really enjoy the judging. And I am showing a horse in July at our horse show at the Lucky J in Carthage.
Nice.
She's going to show in the futurity.
Nice.
And then I have another one I'm going to show in the open classes.
So you give lessons. In fact, we have one of your
Yes.
lessonsees writing in the background. Thanks, Shelby. So to me, people getting lessons from you, it's a win-win because you're a judge, so you're able to critique them
Correct.
on what you're going to see
Yes.
as faults.
Yep,
That
what the
is
judge
awesome.
what the judge is looking for. That's what I really like to do, and I really enjoy watching my clients go out there and show and do good, and
That is awesome.
and pursue that buckle and pursue that any awards that they get, the plaques and everything. So
That is great. How long have you been doing the lessons?
the whole time I've been a trainer.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Brad, let's go ahead and hear you talk for a little bit here.
I don't have a story background like that.
But you're a big part of the operation.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest part of it.
Breaking the horses in?
Yeah.
Who does the
I'm a
breaking?
big deal.
He does
He
the
does the
breaking.
breaking, yeah.
Nice.
He gets them all trained and ready for me to.
I ride him until she's not scared of him.
Yep.
There you go.
So he's a big part of it, and I love that he's there to do that, and
Yeah.
he makes them better. Even my broker horses, he can make them better.
Mom, this is Little Phillips.
We're keeping
What's
him
his
entertained.
first name? I forgot.
Kansas.
Kansas. So that's great that you guys work as a great team then, you
Yes.
know, so even not turning necessarily the horse over to the next person, you guys still
Right.
get back
And
at
it's
that.
really good for the owners too to have multiple people riding their horses.
I agree.
Because then they can get on, and the horse isn't used to my short legs or is not used to his long legs.
I was
and,
just gonna say that.
The horses are usually really adapt really well to the owners.
That is awesome. That's great. So now I know you can't expect a horse to go into a show ring in such a short time frame, but I know a lot of people out there think you do.
Right? No.
What usually do you tell, like if someone contacts you for training horses, usually tell them if they want to go into the show ring, if they want you to start this horse and
We
take
have
it.
one that Diamond had
7 months of training.
7 months.
You guys, that's hardly unheard of.
That is unheard of, and we've taken him in the show pen, but he maybe wasn't quite ready to go in the show pen, but we're getting him out there. He's 3, so it's not like he's a 2-year-old going
Yeah,
in the show pen.
gotcha.
So we
bit more
start
mature.
showing them when they're 3, and it takes 2 years to get one trained in the arena. So we start them in October, November before they're 2 years old.
Gotcha.
And then their first shows are in, like this summer is the 3-year-old's first shows. So they've had about a year and a half of training, and then by the time the futurity comes along in November, December, that's when they've had 2 years of training on them. And
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
When
good.
they're ready.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's the oldest horse that you guys have trained?
you can train, like, that wasn't a reining horse, and then they tried to make it a reining horse, or
Did it work? Yeah.
No,
Oh.
it
Or unbroken.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
Because to me, I think in a way,
Tennessee Walker.
a 7-year-old Tennessee Walker.
Untouched, so.
Did they want it just for like trails
Yeah.
or? Gotcha. Yeah. What's like the oldest horse as far as like reining and stuff like that? I mean, if you get someone who's like, oh my God, Precious has been in the backyard and I really want to show her.
Well, we usually try to, unless the people just are wanting to show at the local ranch shows in the reining,
Yeah.
and we really want the horses to have some reining bred background
Yes.
and everything. So, you know, if we can make any horse do all the maneuvers, and that's what we do. If we really love to get the reining horses in, but we do bring in other things, other people's horses too that are trail horses and stuff, but they bring them, or rope horses or barrel horses. They want them broke and they want them to spin and they want them to take the correct lead.
Yeah.
And so we have about half and half right now. We have like half reining horses and half horses that people bring us to
Okay, good,
just get
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Good. And you guys told me earlier that you have over 13 horses
Yep.
in training.
Yep.
And smallest amount. So you guys, if you want horses trained, you probably need to get on their waiting list because I'm assuming there's a waiting list.
There is.
There is. So you guys need to get on that list. If you don't wait till your horse is 7 years old, not touch. Get on that waiting list. Even if you just got the mare's bred, you might want to get on the waiting list for that foal if you want to go ahead and show it in the reining divisions professionally. So where do you guys see your business in 5 years? Everybody loves that question.
Yeah,
Where do you
so-
see us in 5 years?
I would love to have a barn full of non-pro horses
Yeah.
and futurity horses and a few 2-year-olds, and I would love to own a few of my 2-year-olds. I do have a 2-year-old reining horse right now.
I was going
And-
to ask you guys about breeding. Do you guys do breeding, or you just
Nope.
no breeding?
No
so,
breeding, no. We just go by.
You just go by,
Yep.
which in a way is really good because
Yes.
that way you can narrow in on the good ones.
Yes.
And the ones that don't make the cut,
Right.
you don't have to worry about what happens to them. So
Exactly. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' perspective on the horse world, like horse business? I know that prices were going crazy high. What was it last year? Maybe even this spring.
Right.
What's happening? Because I have not followed, to be honest.
I feel like they're still pretty high.
Okay.
I don't think they're as high as they were.
Okay.
It's kind of evened out, but I feel like that if you want to be in the horse business, it's still a really good time to be
to
the
get
horse
in
business.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
So breeding hasn't slowed down as far as that you can tell.
No,
So people are
definitely
still out there ready to get that next winter.
Yep.
And go forward. And it does seem like it does do that. You know,
Yes.
kind of ripples like this.
Right.
And that's a good time to get on top.
Yes.
You know, when it's kind of lower, get that good stock.
Right.
And then,
Exactly.
Then you're ready to go. So do you have any sponsorships?
We do. We have 100X Equine is sponsoring us, and
Nice.
we love their products. We use the GutX and the Osteomax.
Yeah.
And GutX has changed the way our horses look and the way they feel so much.
That's awesome.
And we have a horse that's on the Osteomax that has really helped his ability to move better, and we have all of our horses on it, all of our personal horses on it, and I've seen a huge change in it.
Nice. So is this a product that you do? So if someone wanted it, they could. come see
They have to
you,
go
or-
through. They have to go through
The company?
100 the company, but
Do they
you can
get a discount?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep,
so
you
if
can get a
they,
discount.
okay, great.
I can send you a
And-
discount if you want it. So.
Okay, do they just give them your name, or is there like a certain code or something?
You just get a hold of me and I can give you the $20 or 20% off. I think it is.
Did you guys hear that? So we're going to have, of course, Brad and Becky's contact information on the bottom of the screen, but just get a hold of her and you can get a 20% off discount.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's great. So let's talk about recent accomplishments
Yep.
in your guys' family.
Yep.
Let's hear about it.
So we do train reining horses, and that's what we love to do. But Brad got a horse given to him when he was a yearling.
Given?
And
For free?
For free.
Okay.
And
As a yearling?
As a yearling. So
How old is he now?
He's 12.
He's 12.
12.
He's the same age as Riley, our daughter.
Oh, nice.
And last week we went to Shawnee, Oklahoma, and this horse is a barrel horse, and Riley ran him and was 5th place out of 1,400 people, and she won the youth out of 219 kids. So
Wow. Say those numbers again. You
Yep.
guys, are you hearing this? A horse that was given to Brad,
a grade horse.
a grade horse.
Yep.
And what were those placings again?
She was 5th place out of 1,900 people, and
5th place out of 14.
out of 1,400 people, and then 1st place out of 219 youth.
Wow.
And then she won the open division that day out of 260.
4, I think.
Yeah, she won it that day, so she won a buckle for that day, and then that carried on for the whole week for the 10,000 added. It was a 10,000 added. Succeed sponsored that race, and it was 10,000
Wow.
added, so carried on, and then so she ended up being 5th place out of NFR qualifiers and AQHA World Champions. Like there was a lot of
Wow.
really good people there competing, and She and the 12-year-old.
That is awesome. Well, good. So what's the next future for Whiskey?
So Whiskey and Riley are going to go compete at the Junior World
Cinch Finals.
in Guthrie,
Really?
Oklahoma,
When's that?
July.
In
and
July.
it's a week-long thing, so it's going to be a
Wow.
lot of runs. So she has to make some really good runs consistently. So
Wow.
we're excited to
Yeah,
do it.
that is exciting.
Yep.
Has Riley experienced anything like this prior to this year?
She just, well, up until this year, not really. And then
In May.
In May, we went to the American Royal.
Oh,
She won
okay.
The Youth American Royal.
The 13 and under.
Wow, nice.
And it was a really big crowd watching, so she got
She loved
the
it.
feel of the big crowd.
Oh goodness. Then it was like hook, line, and sinker.
Yes.
She wanted
Dancing
again.
back, wanting to throw up.
I would want
And
to
she's
throw
only
up.
on ride through.
Oh, that is so awesome. Well, that's great. So you guys, you'll have to follow Riley and Whiskey and see what also they accomplished this year.
Yes.
That's great. That's excellent.
And you can find Riley on Facebook. She's Barrel Racer Riley, and then you can find Reining Horses Unlimited on Facebook as well. Look us up.
Nice.
Yep.
There you guys go. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, but before I do, this is the end of the segment where I kind of turn it around and let you guys interview me by asking me one question about JRs Equine Spa Retreat.
All right.
Yeah. Any question?
So, how many people use your treadmill?
The treadmill?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have not had anybody use the treadmill.
Really?
Yes, I think a lot of people are kind of intimidated by it, but let me tell you the story
I would
behind
use it.
I know, right? I mean, God, it gets a butt on them like
Yeah.
that, a top line on them like that. So our stallion, I don't know if you know his story. He's actually the inspiration behind this.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually supposed to go to Adam and Amy Donaldson
Oh, yeah.
for reining training.
Uh-huh.
I think it was 2014.
Okay.
Okay, so on the waiting list to get in there with them, and this was at our last place. We were in the middle of putting in pipe fencing, and one more section we had to do, so we used these tall 6-foot square panels, can't get a leg caught in there. Well, we had a mare going heat. She got out of her pen, and he tried to breed her through the fence and got his leg caught. So we come home, found him. So long story short, he didn't break his leg, but he did have a bunch of open wounds and frayed up his deep digital tendon. The vet come out. She says, he'll be able to resume reining training in a few months, keep him on the schedule, blah, 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 but he's going to lose a lot of weight. Let's put him on this kind of a diet. Knowing what I know now, I went to put him on that diet. I would have actually gone to a nutritionist and just, because the calcium phosphorus levels were so off.
Right.
So what does the body do? It sends calcium down there.
Right.
So within 2 weeks, he developed full-blown ring bone.
Oh no.
So his leg kept getting bigger, had the vet come back out. She said, sorry guys, you'll never ride this horse again. He won't even be able to mount a mare. I was devastated, but Jennifer doesn't take no for an answer. So we looked into certain natural supplements, massage, essential oils, that kind of stuff. If I would have had some of the therapies here, he would have made a full 100% recovery, no doubt in my mind. But after a year, I took him to the same vet. She took x-rays, and she's like, wow, you might not be able to do reining, but you can do Western pleasure on him. So don't take no for an answer. Ring bone can be reversed. It really can.
So what did you do to reverse it?
Equibone. We are a dealer of Equibone,
Okay.
and I tell anybody, if they have a leg injury, put them on Equibone. I mean, to me, it's a small price to pay to avoid a big problem,
Right.
you know? So Equibone is what reversed that. And to be honest, I told you guys how last year he ran into a freaking tree during the storm and broke his face in 5 different areas and had 3 rods put in. We had him on Equibone too for that, you know? We also had him on another product that we deal for a while, but then we switched him to Equibone because we knew Equibone worked, you know?
Right.
And we just want to make sure there was no calcium in that face. But anyway, back to the treadmill. He still has a little bit of ring bone, so he has a hard time lunging to the left. It hurts. He doesn't like to go that way. But I knew I wanted to get him conditioned because we are standing him at stud, so I wanted to get some good pictures of him. So I bought that treadmill, and he loved it. He gets on there and just goes. Of course, when we had it at our last place, he could see the mares in the field,
running
and so
at
he's like, look at me, you know, and stuff. So I think that was one of the reasons why he enjoyed it, because he got to see mares where normally he wouldn't see these mares,
Right.
you know, but where the treadmill was. But yeah, the treadmill is awesome. It's at a 10-degree angle, so it really makes them work their hind-end muscles and top line without sacrificing their joints, because it is in a straight line. So treadmill's great. Yeah. Anyway, Brad had to step out for a moment. Had a son issue
Something like that.
situation to deal with. But Becky, I want to thank you and Brad for coming out and
Yes.
doing this interview.
Thank you so much for
And
having us.
I do appreciate it. So you guys, I got to throw this out here real quick before I shut this off. If you guys like this content, please, social media does not show people content unless there's a lot of engagement on it. They want that people to get good feelings from these posts and stuff. So if you like this content, please like it, please share it, please tag your friends in the comments so they can see it as well. Go to Becky and Brad's page, Reining Horses Unlimited, like their page. Go to JRs Equine Spa Retreat, like our page to keep up with the latest updates. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you.